The doors at Dunedin's spring training complex close quietly, but the echo lingers. A star slugger walks out into the Florida sun. Meeting done, future undecided. Inside those walls, hope had briefly taken shape. Hope wrapped in numbers, years, projections, and belief. For the Toronto Blue Jays, this offseason has felt like standing on the edge of something vast. A window open, a clock ticking, and Kyle Tucker, for a moment, seemed like the missing piece that could push everything forward. For decades, the Blue Jays have lived in cycles. Peaks of brilliance, valleys of frustration, moments when ambition collided with reality. Now, coming off a heartbreaking Game 7 loss in the World Series, Toronto finds itself staring at a familiar crossroads, but with unfamiliar urgency. This is no longer a rebuild. This is not patience. This is a franchise staring directly into the prime years of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and asking one question: how far are we willing to go? Kyle Tucker represents more than a bat. He represents certainty in a sport built on variance. A left-handed presence with power that changes pitching plans. A player whose swing can tilt October nights. Toronto saw that. They flew him north, sat him down, and made their case. An 11-year offer. $400 million. A declaration that this market, often cautious, was ready to be bold. For a brief stretch, it felt possible. But the gravity of baseball economics rarely allows dreams to exist without competition. And in New York, gravity pulls harder. According to Newsweek analyst Dalian Muhammad, Tucker's path may not lead through Canada. Instead, it curves sharply toward Queens, toward Steve Cohen, toward the New York Mets, a franchise licking its wounds after an offseason defined more by departures than arrivals. Edwin Diaz gone, Brandon Nimmo gone, Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil no longer part of the picture. The Mets, once loud and lavish, have watched rivals collect stars while they waited. And Steve Cohen does not wait forever. Muhammad's prediction is blunt. The Mets outbid Toronto by $30 million. 11 years. $430 million. A move not just about Tucker, but about restoring identity. About reminding the league that New York is still willing to flex. That a core of Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, and Kyle Tucker could redefine their future and do it immediately. If that prediction becomes reality, the blow to Toronto would be sharp. Because Tucker isn't just another free agent. He's the crown jewel of this offseason. The type of player you build lineups around. The kind of bat that protects Guerrero, deepens innings, and shortens games. Losing out on him wouldn't erase Toronto's aggressive winter, but it would sting. It would be another reminder that sometimes ambition alone isn't enough. And yet, this story doesn't end with disappointment. Because what makes this Blue Jays offseason different isn't one name, it's the pattern. Toronto has been active, intentional, relentless. They are spinning like a team that understands timing. ESPN insider Jeff Passan made that clear. I don't think the Blue Jays are done, Passan said. I think they're going to get a big bat. Not just one possibility. Several. Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Bo Bichette, maybe more than one. This isn't smoke. This is a franchise signaling that the window is open now. Guerrero is in his prime. The pitching is there. The foundation is strong. What's missing is impact, especially in the infield. And that's where the conversation shifts. Ken Rosenthal has hinted at the same truth. While Tucker and even Cody Bellinger remain in play, Toronto's greater need might be elsewhere. An infielder who brings consistency, leadership, postseason edge. Bregman fits that profile. Bichette, a familiar name with unfinished business, does too. This is where strategy meets emotion. Because chasing Tucker wasn't just about acquiring talent. It was about sending a message. To the clubhouse, to the fans, to the league. That Toronto is done circling contention. They want to seize it. If Tucker chooses New York, it won't mean Toronto failed. It will mean they pivoted. And pivots, in baseball history, often define legacies more than first choices. The Mets may land their star. They may build a super core and dominate headlines. But Toronto will still be standing there, with money to spend, urgency to act, and a roster that's close enough to taste October glory. What comes next matters more than what slips away. Because championships aren't won in December headlines. They're built through resolve, through adaptation, through moments when a franchise refuses to retreat after hearing no. The Blue Jays are not done. Not even close. And somewhere in the quiet after that meeting in Dunedin, the future kept moving, just waiting for the next door to open. What would you do if you were in Toronto's front office right now? Would you chase the biggest name or build the smartest path forward? The answer might shape the next decade.